What up, everybody? It's another week in Destiny, another weekly reset. Today is June 13th, 2023, and I'm going to get into the patch notes. Also, we're going to look what the Eververse has. We're going to see the weekly rotator. We're going to take a look at the Grandmaster Nightfalls so you can be prepared as soon as this update drops, which it should be here any moment at the time of recording of this video. And don't forget to come hang out over on the Twitch where I will be running these Grandmaster Nightfalls all week. I might not be streaming the entire time, but I will be running them. So if anybody wants to run one, let me know. I have a few builds out there. I'll be making some more this week as well. I'm working on an Arc Hunter right now. I have a few others that are really neat that are in the hopper ready to go. But without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everybody, let's start with the weekly update 7.1.0.2. In Crucible, they fixed an issue where the Dazzling Iridescence Trials emblem could be awarded from the flawless chest without completing the necessary requirements. Players who have already acquired the emblem will need to complete the requirements after this patch goes live in order to equip the emblem. People were earning the emblem without doing what they needed to do in trials, so they were getting the emblem when they weren't supposed to, but now they fixed that. That's good. Fixed an issue with spawn trapping that could occur on Meltdown. Raids and dungeons. This is a huge one, guys. Fixed an issue where players could damage bosses and Ghost of the Deep through immunity shields. This means the cheese is dead. And honestly, I understand people are cheesing and trying to get all the good weapons, but to me, it was boring as anything, and I watched some people do it, and I'd rather just beat it on normal if I was honest with you. And what I mean by I beat it normally, I should say. All right, gameplay and investment changes. Armor, Gerfalcon's Hubert. Reserve overshield now deploys when a player uses Ensnaring Slam. Fix an issue where Capri's Horn could disable various non-enemy objects. Fix an issue where Vesper radius effects were triggered on things other than casting a rift. Fix an issue where point contact cannon brace would create lightning strikes on melees other than thunderclap. So I'm wondering if that hurts some people's point contact cannon brace builds, because I saw some people were making those builds again. Fix an issue where becoming frozen would disable Arbor Warden's exotic perk. Fix an issue where Arbor Warden would cause the Juggernaut aspect to not interact with your class ability energy correctly. Fix an issue causing Sunbracers to not improve solar grenades, which was huge because a lot of people going into the season were thinking Sunbracers were going to be the way, and then the solar grades weren't getting the improvement from the Sunbracers. So hopefully that brings that build back for people. Fix an issue causing Helm of Saint 14 to not provide any effects, which is horrible. Like, how do they even do that? I'm glad they fixed it though. Fix an issue causing Verity's Brow to not function in PvP. And I know Verity's Brow was a lot of people's go-to as well. Once the Starfire Protocol got nerfed, so it's good to see that it now functions in PvP. Fix an issue causing no backup plans to buff non-Shaka damage in certain situations. Fix an issue where Aetheri's Embrace buff icon wasn't appearing in the HUD in PvP. The artifact perks amped up and electric armor no longer have their perk name switched, which was minor, but I'm glad they fixed it. Weapons. Fix an issue where some older Iron Banner special power weapons had lost their scope glint. I had no idea that was a thing. Fix an issue where purchasing a Last Wish Deep Sight from Hawthorne would unintentionally award bonus pattern progress on top of the progress provided by consuming the Deep Sight on the weapon itself. Yeah, this is something I saw going around where people were getting their weapons really quickly because they were able to get bonus patterns. I still haven't run Last Wish yet since they did the update. Increase the size of the red dot in Mercurial Overreach's scope to respond to player feedback. Reduce the collective action weapon perk damage against Guardians to 10% from 20%. Change the Navigator's intrinsic trait icon. I didn't know there was anything wrong with the icon, but okay. Abilities. Fix an issue where certain thrown projectiles were able to over-penetrate allied Titan barricades. Fix an issue where arc jolt damage to minor combatants was lower than intended following the scaling changes in 7.1.0. Does that just make arc builds even better because you're going to get more jolt damage to minor combatants? I mean, they're pretty much getting melted anyway, but still. Fix an issue where the Twitch sub bounty emblem Pulsar Approaching is not reacquirable or equipable. Thank goodness. It's been a while. People have been upset about that. They spent those 2 subs on Twitch, which feel free to come by and spend your 2 subs on me. And they were not able to equip it. Triumphs. Okay. The second Reckoning Triumph now displays the correct weapon names. Oh, I see. This should have been its own little heading, I guess. The Spin Salvage Key's Triumph now correctly progresses when a salvage key is spent instead of erroneously progressing the Spin Deep Dive Key's Triumph. Did not notice that was an issue either. Fix an issue on the Ambitious Angular Triumph where all players are getting credit for one player catching an exotic fish. That sucks. It's really hard to catch an exotic fish. I know there's some methods out there that people have, but that was pretty cool that if you were in a group, everybody would get the exotic fish. And in general, weekly challenges for Vanguard Ops and Gambit now reward the correct number of exotic engrams. And lastly, re-enabling tier 1 exotic focusing on Master Rahool. Well, there you go, guys. That's the weekly update, the weekly patch notes for Destiny. All right, let's get into what they are selling in Eververse. And then after that, we'll get into the Grandmaster Nightfall rotation. All right, everybody, let's get into what the Eververse has this week for Bright Dust. We have the Rising Dawn emote, which is pretty badass. I'm definitely gonna have to get that when I get some more Bright Dust. We have the 𝕃𝕀𝕃 emote. I don't know how to pronounce that. Words are hard. The Decadent Shell. We have the War-Torn Peregrine, I can't speak. That's kind of dope. I like that a lot. We have the Outwit Weapon Ornament for your Outlast Pulse Rifle. We have the Nexus Sunrise for the ℎ𝕁𝕀𝕍𝔼. Let's look at this. And that's pretty dope. I think this has been available before for silver. I could be wrong. And then we have the X marks the spot projection, which is kind of cool. It's like a little treasure map above. We have the Celestial Dome shader. We have the 44 Seal shader. We have my personal favorite that I use for my Warlock already, the Sunrise Warrior shader. I just love the hue of pink. The Amethyst Veil shader, which is another black. And ooh, I like that a lot. I'm going to go ahead and grab that now while I have a little bit of Bright Dust. Only the Finest Transmat effect, which is all right. We have the Signal Process Transmat effect, which is all right. And then we have the Warset Arrival, which I think looks really, really cool, which I'll be purchasing that once I get some more Bright Dust. And that is it for the Bright Dust items that Tess has for this week. All right, guys, that was what is in Eververse. Now let's get into the rotation for the Grandmaster Nightfalls before we get into the rotation of the weekly dungeon and raid. Grandmaster Nightfalls do start this week, and this week's Grandmaster Nightfall is the Light Blade, where you can get the Wendigo GL3 Adept. It is an arc threat. Grenade launchers are overcharged. It's got 12 anti-barrier champions and 3 unstoppable champions. 6 solar shields, 8 arc shields. It is a void and strand weapon surge. So that void build that I just put out, which I'll put in the description below with the Night Stalker Hunter, will be excellent for this, creating ammo and destroying things in this Grandmaster Nightfall. And as you can see here is the upcoming schedule for the Grandmasters and the loot. It starts right here on the Light Blade. I don't know why these are here. I will put a link in the description as well. But yeah, there is your week, your Grandmaster Nightfalls for this week and the schedule coming up for the following weeks. Make sure that you get your team and make sure you get your builds and make sure you get prepared so you can get those adept weapons and destroy everything coming your way. Now, on to the weekly dungeon, the rotator dungeon. It's the Shattered Throne over on the Dreaming City. So go ahead and get in there and get your weapons and items from that. And then for the rotator raid, it is the Vault of Glass. So make sure you hop in the Vault of Glass if you haven't got your Vex Mythic Class yet. If you haven't gotten your Time Lost Fatebringer yet. If you haven't gotten all of your weapons and your gear for your transmog from that, go ahead and run the Vault of Glass, the original Destiny raid. All right, guys, and that's it. That is the weekly update. That is the patch notes. That is the Nightfalls. That is the rotator raid and dungeon. That's what Tess has for sale. If you like this video, please leave a comment below. Hit that thumbs up, like, subscribe to the channel, head over to the Twitch. I appreciate each and every one of y'all, and y'all been loving my Destiny build videos. So I'm going to be putting more of those out this week. I think my next one's going to be an Arc Hunter. Anyway, it's been your boy, Old Man Sim. See you next time. Peace. Ooh, he just fucking made me do a fuck. That's how I dance in real life, bro. Just like that.